Oh.
Hello. What the?
Dark greetings, I am Lord Freakzilla, and this is Gothic Sagas. Here we explore deep into the shadows of reality, where the strange, the creepy, and the tragic collide. So hit that subscribe button, and together, let's venture into the darkness, where shadows dance and secrets lurk.
I was down in my tent, not asleep, listening to all the sounds, and then I heard somebody down by the shelter. So at first I had to convince myself it wasn't what I thought I heard, but it definitely was somebody down there.
This is Phil, a YouTuber behind the channel Hike Slam. In December of 2021, he uploaded a video titled Creepy Night in the Woods, documenting his solo camping trip along a remote section of the Appalachian Trail in Virginia. Phil's channel usually showcases peaceful outdoor adventures, but this trip was anything but normal. Phil begins his hike as usual, trekking deep into the woods to find a quiet place to camp for the night. For the first 30 minutes, everything seems calm, until he comes across something strange. Litter scattered along the trail, and on some of it, bizarre handwriting. The containers have markings resembling song lyrics and disturbing poetry. Phil brushes it off and continues on, but the deeper he goes, the weirder it gets.
Weirdness continues. What the hell? And there's a dead duck here. A very long note. And it looks like it was just put here because it's not wet. That duck is fairly recently killed. Alright. Kind of creepy.
Next to another cryptic poem, Phil finds a dead duck lying in the dirt, freshly killed. Nearby is a campsite. Whether the person who wrote the notes is the same person who left the duck, he doesn't know. But Phil decides to keep moving.
Okay, well that was really weird. So as I was hiking toward the shelter, these two women were hiking in the opposite direction. They had a little dog with them. They asked if I had seen the guy who was leaving the notes. I said he has a campsite down by the river. They were shocked I was still considering camping out there, but they said that they were kind of freaked out and asked if I would go with them and walk past his campsite so they could get back to their car. So I did, and then when I got back to my truck, and I'm actually on the Appalachian Trail, just going the opposite direction. But I'm just gonna find the closest camp spot to where I'm at because the sun is going down, and set up camp and yeah, settle in for the night. All right, let's get going.
The women were visibly shaken. They'd seen the notes too and feared for their safety. Phil escorted them past the campsite, then turned around and found a new location to camp, further away. He set up his tent, made dinner, and tried to relax.
I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log. It's kind of cool tradition here. So let's see what this one says. All right, let's see what's happened recently. Holy crap. Wait a second. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here.
It's the same handwriting, the exact same rambling, paranoid tone. And here's the thing, the shelter is over 2 miles away, on the opposite side of the road, meaning whoever wrote this is moving.
In 2018, while I was incarcerated at the Okaloosa County Jail, what the heck? The same ramblings from the guy that was on the other side of the river. That's kind of scary. Wow, this is weird. It's just like it goes in one direction, then immediately goes in a completely different direction. And there's just so much of it. Like this line up here. Think grave robbery in an attempt to obscure the reality of little Mrs. Wolf. What the heck? Okay, that's crazy.
Phil is alone, in the woods, at night, with no cell signal and no weapon. Then, as Phil looks around the shelter, he sees something else. Hanging from the ceiling is a bottle suspended by a string. Attached is yet another note, in the same handwriting. It reads, "Watch out for Yeep Mouse. The dead do walk and talk." Phil is now visibly rattled, He returns to his tent, crawls into his sleeping bag, and tries to sleep, but he can't shake the unease. Then he hears footsteps.
Okay, I'm out on the trail. It's the middle of the night. I was down in my tent listening to all the sounds, and then I heard somebody down by the shelter. So at first I had to convince myself it wasn't what I thought I heard, but it definitely was somebody down there. So I packed up all my stuff and I walked past. As I walked past, it did look like a single guy hanging out in the shelter. He had a headlamp on. All I could really see was the light from the headlamp, so I could have been wrong. So I don't know. I just got out of there.
Phil quickly made his way back to the truck and left the trail. He wasn't followed. He wasn't attacked. But he hasn't returned to the Appalachian Trail since. The identity of the man who left those disturbing notes and killed the duck has never been confirmed. But for anyone hiking solo in the Virginia backcountry, it's a chilling reminder that not every danger in the woods is from nature. In October of 2023, a British YouTuber named Mike uploaded a chilling video titled "The Woods I Will Never Camp In Again" on his channel Novice Wild Camper. Mike is known for his solo wild camping adventures across the UK, but what he experienced in these woods changed the way he views nature forever. The video begins like many of his others, a hike through remote woods in search of peaceful campsite. Along the way, Mike notices strange footprints in the dirt, but dismisses them as likely belonging to a dog walker, nothing unusual at first. He sets up his hammock, prepares a dinner, and tries to enjoy the night. But after dark, the woods begin to feel wrong. Strange noises nearby, movement in the trees. Still, Mike brushes it off, thinking that's just small animals.
There's a huge amount of noises around here. Sounds like Bigfoot's throwing rocks at the hammock. I've had a couple of near misses and a couple of hits. But yeah, going for a fun night. See you in the morning. Right, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm actually sitting back in my car now. 3 o'clock, it just started hammering it down with rain. After the rain started, I could just hear crashing around that got nearer and nearer and nearer to my hammock. And every time I moved or got out to check, it stopped. But the weirdest thing was, suddenly by my hammock, massive thud hits the ground. I jumped up and there's a rock on the floor that wasn't there. And I'm just laying there listening. And then another one. This went on 3 or 4 times at least. And then a large branch hit my tarp. And every time I jumped up and got out, there was no movement, there was no nothing now. But this has completely freaked me out.
Around 3 a.m., things escalate. Rocks begin hitting the side of the hammock. Branches drop. Thuds echo around him. Mike steps outside to investigate. But each time he does, silence. Terrified, Mike abandons his campsite and retreats to his car, parked near the trailhead. He waits there until sunrise, unsure if the forest was haunted or if someone was out there messing with him. At daybreak, Mike returns to his site to pack up, but almost immediately, the same disturbing sounds begin again.
This is seriously the weirdest forest I've ever camped in. I got back here and suddenly the tree next to me just crashes and the bushes are all shaking, but there's nothing in it, there's nothing there. It's full of creatures and animals running around. Things are just crashing down around me. It's all quiet, then suddenly it happens. I don't like it yet. I'm getting packed up. I'm under my tarp, packing up my quilt, and there's this crash behind me. This doesn't land coming down. It bounces towards me. It hit the floor and was still rolling towards me. This place is freaked out. I am never coming back here again.
Mike decides enough is enough. He packs quickly and heads back to the road. But what happens next adds a disturbing human element to the story, one that shakes him even more than the night in the woods.
I just got back to the car, and bearing in mind this road is like a dead-end road. No one comes down here, and for the entire night, no one had come down here. So, but I've come down here, and as I've stepped out of the woods, literally the entrance to go in there is just there. And there's a man just walking down the road by me, and he saw me, and he went, "All right," and I was like, "All right." He went, "You been camping in the woods?" I said, yeah, I just did a little hammock camp. And he says, you went, you're brave. I said, why is that? And he went, people have done it before, no one's lasted. I said, what do you mean? And he just laughed and he went, you know what I mean. I walked off. But yeah, I won't pinpoint it to say avoid this place, but I'm never going to come back here again.
Mike never got a name, no answers, and no closure. He decided to keep the exact location secret, fearing others might go looking for something they're not ready to find. Was it something paranormal or something far worse, like a person stalking campers in those woods? Either way, Mike has made it clear he's never going back. In November of 2017, a YouTuber named John uploaded a chilling video titled "The Scariest Thing I've Ever Caught on Camera" to his channel Exploration Unknown. John is known for urban exploration of eerie, abandoned places across North America. And in this video, he visits a deserted farmstead rumored to be haunted, and what he captures may be one of the clearest ghost sightings on YouTube. According to John, the property stretches across more than 100 acres and has been abandoned for years. Locals whisper about ghost sightings, strange sounds, and unexplained shadows, but John wanted to see for himself, so he chose to explore the property. At 3 a.m., navigating through overgrown woods, John eventually reaches the heart of the old farm. The structures are falling apart, trees have overtaken the path, and inside the crumbling barns and garages, rusted equipment and relics of the past are frozen in time.
I'm not gonna lie, that really freaked me out when I first saw it. Which is weird because it's like somebody's jacket just hanging there. This old barn garage. Oh wow. That actually still got, oh wow. It's unopened motor oil. That's really cool. There's a bunch of cans up here. This is probably not the safest structure to be inside of right now. It is all collapsed everywhere around me except there's one little spot I'm in. Here's what I want to show you guys. Okay guys, what is here in front of me? A 1953 5-window Chevrolet 3100. This is my dream truck. This is the truck I want.
John finds sealed cans of motor oil still on the shelves and a pristine 1950s pickup truck, all left behind as if the owners vanished overnight. That detail alone was enough to raise eyebrows. But what happened next took things to a much darker place.
Okay, there's the old barn in the woods. This is actually a thriving farm at one point. Still a pretty solid looking old barn except for that corner. I just love being out in the woods at night. Something really freaking cool about it. Okay. Something really freaking cool about it.
But in that exact moment, as John exits the barn, something appears just behind him. If you slow down the footage, you can clearly see a woman standing in the trees. She's dressed entirely in white, with long hair covering her face, just watching him. John never saw her during the exploration. He walked around the property for another 10 minutes, completely unaware of what his camera had just captured. It wasn't until he reviewed the footage later at home that he noticed the figure watching him from the woods. To this day, her identity remains unknown. John never gave a follow-up. No name, no backstory, just a silent figure in white, standing in the woods of a farm known for its haunted past. Was it a spirit, a warning, or something else entirely? Whatever it was, John never went back.
Come on, mate. Oh, it doesn't half look creepy down here.
In October 2023, a British YouTuber named Gaz uploaded a disturbing video titled "I Wasn't Welcomed in These Woods" to his channel, Grizzly Gaz. His channel focuses on outdoor adventures across the UK, often featuring peaceful solo camping trips with his dog, Fendi. But in this particular video, things took a dark and terrifying turn. Gaz had planned an overnight trip into a remote forest somewhere in the UK. According to local legends, the woods had long been used as a ritual site by pagans, a place where even today, strange ceremonies are said to occur beneath a towering old tree. Despite the warnings, Gaz chose to camp near that very site.
You enjoying yourself there, mate? I think I found it. Don't know, does this look like a pagan ritual site? I'll tell you one thing, it looks creepy. So, let's camp here, shall we? Can't see any pagan markings or out like that. Right then, let's get set up, shall we?
After locating what appeared to be the ritual site, Gaz decided to set up a camp right next to it. He pitched his tent, checked the area, and even returned to the site to investigate, but saw no sign of anyone. It seemed like he and Fendi were completely alone in the woods. As night fell, they made dinner and settled into the tent, but shortly after lying down, they heard something.
Let's go back up to the tent. So I did a hot tent camp last week. I don't think it's for me, isn't that?
At first, Gaz assumed it was just falling branches, but the noises came again, louder, closer. It now sounded less like branches and more like something deliberate, like trees being cut.
I can definitely hear something out there. Oh, that's nice, isn't it, mate? Fucking hell, that were a big branch, wasn't it?
Gaz stepped outside to investigate, but found nothing. If someone really was out there cutting trees near his camp, they would have known exactly where he was. Still, Gaz tried to brush it off and return to the tent, but then came something far more direct. Someone or something began throwing objects at his tent.
Trees keep falling from old branches, and they're pretty close, but I checked to make sure there were no widowmakers out here, so... Right, come on.
Hi.
I think it's just wind. Let's pick it back up again now. I hope there's no widowmakers fall on us. That'd be no good, would it, mate? Oh dear. Look at this pillow. Oh, fuck! Fendi! Come here, mate. Oh, you're alright. What the that? Mate, come on. Mate, come here. Come here. Right, I'm going to turn this light off.
Then something slammed into the tent, hard. The side of the tent visibly pushed inward. Without wasting a second, Gaz and Fendi sprint out into the darkness and escape the woods. But it wasn't over. Later that night, Gaz returned quickly to grab his car keys, and what he saw next would haunt him. From the direction of the ritual site, a group of around 20 people came running toward him, screaming. He grabbed his keys and fled again, managing to escape unharmed. When Gaz returned the next morning to collect what was left of his gear, he found that most of it had been stolen, and what remained had been destroyed.
Where's my cook kit? My cook kit were over here somewhere. Don't mind people scaring you and stuff out of woods, but when they're just going to break stuff as well, what's the point in that?
To this day, Gaz hasn't returned to that forest. Who the people were and what they were doing there remains unknown. But one thing is clear. They didn't want Gaz anywhere near that ritual site.
What the hell? Y'all seeing this?
In June 2021, a YouTuber named Corey uploaded a chilling video titled Ritualistic Encounter in the Backwoods to his channel, The Abandoned Boys. Corey is known for his urban exploration across abandoned and off-limits areas in the US. But in this video, he decided to take things even further. He ventured deep into a remote forest in Martinsville, Virginia, a place rumored to be a site of satanic rituals and dark ceremonies. Locals say the forest is haunted. Even to this day, there are reports of people performing rituals in the dead of night beneath the trees. Despite the terrifying reputation, Corey entered the woods alone after midnight.
That's some dangerous backwoods. Heard a lot of stuff goes on out here, so I'm here tonight to check it out. Come with me on this journey. Let's get it. Kind of far in, hiked in kind of far. Hopefully it all goes well, but definitely creepy. Been hearing stuff. I don't know. It's crazy. That's what we're working with tonight. Hearing something. You hear that? What the? Whoa. What the? Y'all hear that?
As Corey made his way deeper into the forest, he suddenly heard something that stopped him in his tracks.
Whoa. What the? Y'all hear that?
The noise, though hard to identify, sounded eerily like a cat screaming. But in a forest known for satanic activity, even that couldn't be taken at face value. Corey paused, listened intently, then decided to move toward the source of the noise. But what he encountered next changed everything.
What the fuck? I don't know what the hell's that? What's that? What the? What the? Y'all seeing this? Y'all see this? Hey, what's going on? Scratch this film.
Just ahead of him, a group of people dressed entirely in black stood in a clearing surrounding a small fire, performing what appeared to be a ritual. One of them looked directly at Corey and pulled out a weapon. Without hesitation, Corey began slowly backing away, trying to stay calm, trying not to provoke them. He even called out to the man, but received no reply. The man just kept walking toward him, silent, Now fully aware of the danger, Corey turned around and sprinted through the forest. The figure still behind him. Eventually, he managed to outrun the man and escape to safety. It's still unclear why the man was following Corey, or what kind of ritual was being performed that night, but judging by the group's reaction, it's likely they didn't want any outsiders near that site. If Corey had continued watching from the shadows or approached any closer, it's very possible he wouldn't have made it out of that forest at all. Since that night, Corey has not returned to that forest, and he's never received an explanation for what he witnessed there.
Hallo.
In December of 2023, a YouTuber named Sagas uploaded one of the most terrifying videos on his channel to date. It was titled, "The Night I Will Never Forget," and for good reason. Sagas is known for urban exploration, often venturing into dark and abandoned places with his friends. But what happened during this exploration was something none of them could have prepared for. On the night of December the 29th, Sagas and two friends arrived at the remote forest in Belgium. Their destination, an abandoned campsite buried somewhere deep within the trees. But even before stepping foot into the forest, something felt wrong.
Echt? Oh man.
From deep in the woods, they heard dogs barking, something they didn't remember from the last visit. As they approached the entrance to the forest, they noticed a tree blocking the path. A message was scrawled across it, "Private. This is a space of prayer. Please respect it." And just beyond it, a sign, "Beware, watchdog." Despite the warnings, they kept going.
Ja, hoort je het? Hoort je het? Die deur, die wint niet. Ik hoorde zo...
Nee, dat was een beest.
Zeker?
Ja.
Oh,
Nee.
waar is dat?
Dat was een deur.
Dat is een deur, hè?
Hallo?
Ik de wind ook gaan, ja.
Waarschijnlijk zo.
Oh.
Maak ik een voetstap.
Ik hoor van alles hier. Dit is zo f***ing eng. Oh, maat.
Hallo? Mogen wij hier binnenkomen?
Trying to stay respectful, the group took a different route into the forest, hoping to avoid private property. But deeper in, they saw another tree marked off with red and white ribbon, and a second warning: no access, private area, surveillance in use. Still, they stepped over it. What they walked into was pure chaos.
Wat de Dat is toch niet mijn auto of zo, hè? Hier wordt letterlijk iemand gemarteld in dat bos. Dit is heel Daar is geen licht, kijk. Daar is geen licht. Dit is heel Dus, wat? Kom gewoon verder. Stel je voor, dat was mijn auto. Wat de is dit, kerel? Die zit er ook uit. Ja, wat komt daar? Ik zie ze. Zit daar, een lampje. Zo licht. Ja, die komt naar hier. Kom naar hier. Kom naar hier. Blijf gewoon hier. Lamp aan of niet? Hallo? 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 Wat de Wat de Hey!
When you pause the footage, you can clearly see her, a woman in a white robe holding an axe, speed walking toward them. Out of pure panic, the three boys scattered in different directions, becoming separated in the darkness. But the nightmare wasn't over.
What the is this? What the is this? Ja, wacht. Hallo? Hallo? Je moet nu naar hier komen. Ja, we zitten hier in een bos in de Centerlo. We zijn hier in een bos en dat is een verlaten bungalowpark. En ineens komt er een man
met een mes of zoiets op ons af. We zijn met 3. En ik hoorde ook kloppen. Ik denk dat mijn auto kapot is geslagen. En we zijn vies aan het lopen. Zijn Jurissen. Kom alsjeblieft heel snel.
When police arrived on scene, Sagas finally emerged from the forest, and shortly after, so did the woman.
Ja, is goed. Ja. Ja. Dat is die. Dat is die.
Mevrouw, het is de laatste keer. Hier blijven. Maar wat is het? Je gaat hier blijven. Ofwel moet ik mee met mijn vrouw mee, ofwel moet ik hier blijven.
Ja, dat is goed. Vanaf nu luisteren naar mij.
Nee, ik ga niet luisteren. Hé! Beetje respect hebben voor de kleren, ja? Dat is geen respect hebben voor mij. Nee, dat gaan we niet doen. Mevrouw? Nee, dat gaan we niet doen. Dat gaan we niet doen. Nee, gedaan. Nu is het gedaan, ja? Pak die lamp. Deze collega, die moet laten zien.
It took 6 officers to restrain the woman. She was taken to the local police station, while the 3 shaken YouTubers went straight home. A trauma for life. That's how they described it. And considering what happened that night, it's incredible that they made it out without being harmed.
And that wraps up this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so we can keep bringing you more creepy, bizarre, and haunting tales. Check out the links below to dive deeper. And if you have your own creepy encounter, tell us in the comments. We might feature it in a future video. Until next time, sleep tight.